Life gives us moments when we have the opportunity to make a choice. And what we choose has the potential to change our lives forever. Join us now for another inspired episode of The Breakthrough. And now, please welcome the creator and host of the show, Jessica Dugas.
Hey everybody, I am so excited to be back for season 4 of The Breakthrough Show. I hope you're excited as I am. It's a completely different vibe this season because we're not live anymore. We don't have a full panel anymore on every episode like we used to, and our time has changed. But for me, those are just little details, and the heart of the show is the same. So if you're brand new here, I want to welcome you to The Breakthrough Show. It's your weekly dose of inspiration, changing how you look at and live your life. Our guest stories are full of motivation and transformation and will inspire you to grow in many different areas of your life. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, if you're new to me, and I am super excited to be here with you for another episode, for another season, for another year. It's super fun. If you're on the video version of the show, which you can see on our website, thebreakthroughshow.com, you can also see it on YouTube and on Facebook. You're going to see a lot of different things alter in this particular episode. There's been so much going on in the world over the last several weeks. And as I was preparing for the show this season, I thought, okay, I want to give updates for where many of our guests have been, our panelists, our co-hosts. I want to share, obviously, about what's coming up this season, but I also want to keep it relevant to what's going on in the world today. We've had a major global shift, that's what I'm going to call it, going on in the world. I wanted to make sure to give that its due diligence on this episode. So as I mentioned, there is a lot of changes that have taken place with the show. So it's earlier in the day. As you notice, it's just me here, just me, and I don't have my panel with me, but you will see many familiar faces this season, which I am so excited about. So I want to start off this episode by giving you guys some updates from some of your favorite past guests, co-hosts, and panelists. Hey, thanks for watching or listening to this episode of The Breakthrough Show. This spot you're listening to right here was made just for you. We are currently looking for sponsors and friends of the show, and it's super easy to ask for more information. Simply send an email saying more sponsor info to business@thebreakthroughshow.com or click the link in our show notes to send a message to our Facebook page. We can't wait to partner with you. And now back to The Breakthrough Show. My first update today is from a guest that was on season 1 of the show. She's a conversation coach and came on to talk about running away and what that looks like in her life. Claudette sends the following update for you. Hello, Fearless Breakthrough family. I was on the show in season 1, episode 17, and now we are starting season 4. Woohoo! I am excited for the show and look forward to future shows. Well, I've been busy and not running away from home. I have been traveling and enjoying the wonderful opportunities as they present themselves. Part business travel as trainer, speaker, and part pleasure travel for the fun of it. I had the pleasure of spending a month in Amsterdam for business and pleasure. I may need to run away just so I can spend some more time in the Netherlands. Right now, business is kind of slow coaching and the bed and breakfast, so I took a job knowing it's a temporary thing. Take care of yourselves and enjoy this amazing new season. I'm sure we'll meet again. I'm sure of that, Claudette, and we wish you all the best here at The Breakthrough Show. Our next update for The Breakthrough Show comes from our friend and familiar face on the show, Crystal Cockerham. Before I bring her on the show, I want to read her update to all of you. Hi, Breakthrough family. I hope this update finds you all in an amazing, high vibe state of health. I absolutely loved being on the show the past 2 seasons and connecting with our guests, my fellow panelists, and you. Since being on the show, everything is moving along at a quick pace in my world. My middle child and oldest daughter is getting married this fall. It doesn't get much more exciting than that. On the business front, I have just released a solo authored sacred project. It's a guided journal and meditation series titled Awaken Your Divine Wisdom. And I am also coming back with a revamped monthly breakthrough extra, Ask Crystal, where I am super geeked to connect with you more and help you deepen your transformational journey. Of course, there's more coming up on the horizon, but I'll save that for another day. Until then, keep seeking and keep shining your light. So you guys know Crystal Cockerham as a guest, a panelist on the Breakthrough Show, and she has from last season been doing Ask Crystal, and she's coming back with Ask Crystal. So I wanted to have her on to ask Crystal what Ask Crystal's going to be like. How many times can we say Ask Crystal? Let's keep a tally. Everybody, welcome back Crystal Cockerham to the show.
Hi, everybody. This is Crystal, of course.
we didn't know that.
We didn't think it would be Jocelyn or anything, right?
I love that we can have fun and cut up a little bit on this show. That's always a good thing, to make each other laugh and smile, and we need more of that in the world today, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to come back with Ask Crystal. Some things are going to change. It's going to be once a month. So we will be meeting on the third Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what's going to be different, apart from it being once a month versus every week, is we are bringing in a little bit more technology, and you will be given each week, yeah, fingers crossed, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So each week there will be a phone number that you can dial in while I'm live on the show and ask me your questions in real time, and we can have conversations. So I'm super excited about this.
That is really fun. And I think it's a good thing because, you can interact in the comments section of a video, but it's delayed. So it's really, let's just be frank, it's annoying on the video side of things, because we're like, what's coming next? We don't know. And then and I'm sure it's annoying for the people in the comments as well, because they ask something and 12 minutes later we'll answer. So it's like, it's frustrating for everybody involved. So I love that it's going to be like real time, and you can of course still use the comments, but it'll be cool to have that vocal interaction, like no delay.
Yeah, I think it's just going to add a lot more personability, especially for me as the host. Like for me, it's going to add like a whole nother level of dimension, because it's just going to bring everything far more into reality, not just for me as I'm going through it, but for others as they are tuning in and watching, whether it's live or on the replay. So it's not just me speaking to a camera and reading comments,
Right.
There's going to be more human interaction and whatnot. So I am really looking forward to working through and playing with the new technology, and to bring this forward, right, in a different way for everyone.
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I think it's one of those things too, where sometimes, when we're on Facebook and the show is live and we have, comments coming up, unless you have like an alternate profile, you have no way of, like, all your information's out there. And so sometimes it can be hard to ask those questions that may be a little more sensitive, or maybe you don't want other people to see that you're asking that question. So if you call, it's literally just your number that comes up on Crystal's side. Your name does not, you don't have to have your name on there if you don't want to, and nobody's going to see your number either. So it can be completely anonymous, and you can feel free to ask things that maybe you wouldn't feel comfortable asking in another situation.
Exactly. And I really love that anonymity of that, because I had gotten a couple like private messages or what have you before, but the the feedback for me was that people weren't asking the questions because they didn't want other people to know they were asking the questions.
Right.
So this really kind of serves many purposes in bringing it forward in this way with the new technique and such.
Right. So for anybody that's brand new to the breakthrough, or brand new to you, brand new to what's Ask Crystal, we don't, who's Crystal and what do we ask? Like what are the topics that you cover so that people know you like this would be a great question to ask Crystal?
So anything from the world or realm of transformation, anything about that process, anything about the divine feminine. They can ask me about the sacred masculine. They can ask me questions about personal and spiritual growth. So, I'm a spiritual coach, a mentor, and an energy healer. So I have lots and lots of tools. And I've been doing this for like 9+ years now. So I have lots of wisdom and experience and stories to, pull from and to share to really help offer that guidance and support, in the moment for whomever is asking.
I love that. And I love where this is going. And I love how we've made a switch of, the breakthrough show itself is not live anymore, but there's been a lot of different things that have become possible because it's not live. And now there's a lot of possibilities with Ask Crystal because it's live, but we're bringing in this new technology, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I really appreciate you doing this, and I think I'm excited to tune in once a month to Ask Crystal, and I hope everybody else is too. So thank you so much, Crystal, for giving us an update on Ask Crystal.
Well, thank you for having me and having Ask Crystal back. I love it. It's fun.
Yes,
I
yes.
can't wait.
It's going to be a blast.
I've got another throwback guest for you today to share with us how she's been doing. Kathleen was with us last season as a special edition, and she's back today to share with us about how things have been since she was last on the show and what's new in her world. She was a vocal expert telling us how we can use our voice better in our lives, and I'm excited to see what she's been up to. Everybody welcome Kathleen Gubitosi back to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Jessica. It's great to be back.
It's good to have you back. It's been so fun this episode, catching up with everybody, giving updates, see how everyone's doing. And I know that the last couple weeks have been just honestly craziness for everybody. I love that we can have these relationships and touch base and keep our distance at the same time. We're used to this.
Yeah, that's it. You got to figure out new fun ways to socialize and get through the uncertainty. It'll be over soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us what you've been up to.
Oh my God, I've been having so much fun. Family's doing well, and we keep up with our evening walks. It's shortened a little bit with everything that's going on right now. But, your voice loves fresh air. So get out and get that air, the water and the air. Being in the house, everything's so dry. So if you can get out even just for a few minutes, that's what we're doing. We're looking forward to the nicer weather. And business-wise, I was traveling a lot. And in January, I launched my online tarot circle group.
That was exciting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we meet online through Zoom, like we're doing right now, and it has its own private Facebook group, and we're learning how to relate the tarot to our own daily lives using the elements: earth, air, fire, and water, pop culture themes, musicians, songs, stories, poems, TV shows that we know, and everybody's having a lot of fun, including me. So it's much more fun even than I thought it was going to be.
That's always fun when we put something out and the intention is to help other people, but then that's how it is with this show too. Like I wanted to help other people, but every episode I'm like, I feel so selfish. I got so much out of that.
I know. And it's like, wow, hey, you know what? I'm learning new things, but that's the beauty of teaching and talking to people and just getting everything out.
Yeah.
I went to the Northwest Tarot Symposium last month, and I did a presentation on professional voice care for tarot and oracle card readers.
That's interesting.
Because it's something that we don't think about. We think about, let's focus on knowing about the moon cycles,
Yeah.
what the new moon means, what you're supposed to do at that time in terms of setting your goals, what the waning moon and the waxing moon and then the full moon and all of those types of things. And we don't sit back and say, you know what, I've been online for hours today. I've been talking to people, giving them intuitive channeled advice all day using my voice. So we had a really, really fun time just doing some kind of basic voice care as well as some voice painting exercises and using colors
That's
to
fun.
to bring out the expression in our voices and aligning the voice with the chakra colors.
Oh, that's exciting. That's fun. And I mean, I just never, I guess I'm thankful then for the vocal training I've had before I started doing the work that I'm doing, because now it's like, I guess I have applied a lot of those things that I learned. I never thought about that until now.
Yeah, it's something that most people don't think about because you're not taught how to speak officially. Maybe if you had a speech problem, you might have gone to extra speech help at school. But normally it's like, oh, just everyone talks, you copy your parents and whoever's around you in your neighborhood, and that's it. And there's nothing special about speaking until you start doing it 10 to 12 hours a day. And you realize, if you were training to run a marathon, you wouldn't be out there running 10, 12 hours a day the first day of your training.
Right.
Why would you do that with your voice?
Right.
Yeah.
So what's coming up next for you? Where can people find you at these days?
Oh gosh. Right now I am doing a lot of stuff online with my tarot circle, and I have a new free gift coming out. So you can find me on Facebook. My handle on Facebook is KG Voice Coach. So if you look for my business page, you can follow me there. And I also have a free group, Voice and Biz Alchemy, where I teach online via Facebook Live.
Awesome. Well, I'm certainly excited that you have been, I mean, just even out there so much more and sharing the vocal stuff with people, because, in times like we've been experiencing and even in everyday life, you're right that most people don't think about care of their voice. And if we are out there trying to change the world and then we lose our voice, that can present a challenge. So I think what you're doing is something that everybody really needs more than they think they do. All right, Kathleen. Well, it's been so fun catching up with you, and I appreciate you being here with me today. And thanks for catching us all up and letting us know where we can find you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It was wonderful to see you again and get to talk like this. Goodbye, everybody.
Absolutely. You guys can make sure you check out the show notes for the links to everything that Kathleen is doing, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
We hope you've been enjoying the Breakthrough Show. If you're someone who is an inspirational entertainer or has an incredible story of breakthrough, we want to hear from you and maybe even have you on the show. Be sure to visit the links in our show notes to send us an email or connect with us on social media. We hope to see you on a future episode of the show. And now back to the Breakthrough.
Welcome back to the Breakthrough Show. It's been so fun catching up with some of our old friends on the Breakthrough Show, hasn't it? Well, I've got some old friends continuing to come back on this episode with us today, and also a new face as well. But I want to move into a segment talking about the reality of what we've been going through around the globe with our current health crisis that we've been dealing with. And so I know a lot of us have had our lives change, and in very interesting ways. It's been pretty much quote unquote business as usual around my home, because we've been homeschooling a long time, and I've been working at home a long time, and my husband still has to work. And so it's a situation where our day-to-day lives haven't changed. However, I really have felt so much of the world and the pressure from the world, and just naturally picking up on what so many people are going through. So before I bring my guests on, I really want to put that out there and say that it's a great time to look at our lives in a holistic way, meaning to look at what we're experiencing, body, mind, and spirit, to keep ourselves safe and do the things that are in alignment with what we believe in, while still being mindful of the rest of the world. This phrase that has come up for us recently called social distancing is something that I think we're going to be more mindful of moving from here on out. And so the first guest that I want to bring on today to talk about that little portion of things is my friend and familiar face on the show, Allan Knight. He's a former Zen monk turned communication coach, personal development coach, been in this space for more than 25 years, and he's got some amazing insights on what's going on in our current climate. Everyone, please welcome back to the show my friend Allan Knight. Allan, welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica. It's always great to be with you. You're a wonderful person doing wonderful things, and it's an honor to be part of it.
Thank you so much. So it's been really interesting to put together a lot of pieces sort of last minute for this premiere episode of season 4 of the Breakthrough Show, because things have changed so much in the world just over the last month. Has it felt sort of like surreal or a whirlwind to you?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I'm in a unique position, having been a monk. I was talking offline with you a little bit about it. Is that it's obviously we're all human and we're affected by everything that's going around, and there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty, etc. So in that sense, I'm human and I'm sensitive to it. But as I go through the experience more and more, I'm the kind of guy that likes to turn lemon into lemonade. And I realize that I'm somewhat fortunate with my Zen monk experience in that I lived for many years away from the stimulation of society and focusing on going deep inward to come to a sort of deeper level of achieving inner freedom and inner peace and tranquility of the mind. And so because of my experience with that, and then of course integrating it into day-to-day lifestyle, even though it's happening around me, I feel it, but I feel very peaceful and very calm. And the only thing I want to do is how to be supportive to other people. So I feel grateful that I'm somewhat ahead of the game a little bit, but I want to do what I can to get back to those that are not so used to going inward and not really experiencing a lot of inner peace. They're more focused on the virus and what's happening and what we can't do now. I mean, I miss some of the football and basketball games now with the Raptors. I was having so much fun and they're not there. So I just have to accept it and go with it. But a lot of people are lost and they're looking at either killing time or filling the space. But I see it as an opportunity to either go and heal and grow or get into more dysfunction with your relationships. Either way, it's going to go to either extreme, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting because, and I've mentioned this many times over the last couple of weeks, that there are many people getting really caught up. And there's another kind of something that's been happening that I wanted to touch on. I feel like there's a lot of people that have been afraid to, or felt not like they shouldn't be being peaceful, or that they've been afraid to laugh or have a good life or be great. Like when someone says, "How are you?" I feel like many people are feeling like almost pressured to say, well, I'm stressed out and I'm freaking out over everything, and afraid to say, I'm doing really good right now. Have you seen that at all? And what would you say to people that are maybe shy about saying that things are good?
Well, I think, again, it's an opportunity. It depends what you do with it. I've seen a lot of people, friends and people that I'm closer to these days, come out and say, you know what? I just realized how serious I've been in the last 10 years. And all I've been focusing on is work, 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 and making money. And I haven't even had time for fun. So I said, well, why don't you have fun? Put that more into your life. So I think it could have the opposite effect of saying, hey, life is short. Use it as a wake-up call. I don't take one day for granted. I know you and I have chatted about that before many times, Jessica. I don't take life for granted. So the reality is the way I live my life is say, I'm going to be me no matter what. I'll be sensitive and respectful of other people. But I think some people feel the need to just chat about what's going on and express their fears. But I think some other people are saying, you know what? I'm time to live my life and enjoy the things that maybe I haven't enjoyed. So I'm seeing a kind of a combination of both.
Yeah. What can people do? What are some actionable things that people can do that if they're really getting caught up in the anxiety of everything right now?
Well, a couple of things. One is I always like what I call the fed up exercise. When I see myself getting off track, thinking too much, analyzing too much, getting obsessed too much on what the news is saying on Yahoo, Google, whatever, I get fed up. I say, Allan, no-go zone. I'm not going down that path. And usually we could tell when we're getting obsessed with something because we start looking and talking and obsessing on it. And I think one of the things that we need to do is respect ourselves enough, respect our boundaries enough to say, I am fed up with this. I don't want to go down this path. And then equally, number two would make a commitment to enjoy and deal with what you can deal with. In other words, if I decide when I get off the interview with you, what can I do now to enhance my day? Well, I realize that I haven't gone for a nice fast walk in a couple of days. So maybe I can go out into the fields in the parks near where I'm at and take a long walk and really enjoy the walk, be in the moment, look at the trees, look at the birds, enjoy the moment. Then when I come back, what do I feel like doing? Do I feel like obsessing on the virus? Or maybe I could use this time to do a couple of videos and upload the videos to help inspire other people. Or maybe I could take some time to spend some quality time with the people that I love. Like I'm getting calls from people that I know and love that I haven't heard for a while.
Yeah.
And it's happening more. That tells me that they're looking to, hey, what's meaningful to me? How can I reach out? How can I connect with people? This is what's really important. So be fed up and take proactive action in doing positive things so that at the end of the day, virus or no virus, when you go to bed, you feel like you were productive and you led a meaningful day. That's what I would suggest.
I love that. I love all of that so much. I know that you've also been working on for some time now, your soulmate revolution and really getting people connected in a bigger and deeper way. And this is something that I've been really passionate about as well in my work, because when I created my Soul Connection Collective, it was in a space of I'm doing all this personal and spiritual development work and I'm lonely. How is it that I'm lonely when I'm going through all of this? And I wanted to just find my people. And I know that this is what's happening in the world is really creating a space where this connecting with other people is more important than ever, while at the same time we're being told don't go near people. So how has this showed up for you? And tell us a little bit about why you think this is important right now.
My time has come. I am so passionate about this. This is probably the number one passion that I have. I've always had it, but the timing wasn't right for whatever reason. So I don't want to beat myself up, but the soulmate revolution is all about heart-centered connections, heart-centered relationships, business and personal, starting with the relationship and connection you have with yourself, which I call the inner soulmate. So recently with the virus going around, I realized more and more people are isolated more than ever. So I said the other day, that's it. I'm going to do it. I'm starting the soulmate revolution. It's going to start with soulmate circles, soulmate power program, one-to-one groups. We're going to keep the price ridiculously low so that everyone could participate. It's going to lead to a soulmate network where people that go through the training and master themselves at a higher level and their communication can meet other like-minded people who've graduated from it. And we're even going to have a soulmate certification coaching program. So people who want to be coaches or coaches that don't have that particular program could be trained to coach people. And so I envision soulmate circles, soulmate network, soulmate power program growing all over the world, so that the opposite of social distancing is social intimacy. And we could do it online. We don't have to do it like you and I don't have to worry about the fact that we can't even meet in the Starbucks today to have a coffee. So we could do it all online. So I'm very, very excited by it.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. And I think that there are many of us that it's funny because there are several of us who feel like we've been sort of ahead of our time. And we've been thinking about this and doing these things for a long time. Like us in our household, we've been homeschooling for the last 7 years. I've been hosting these social events for the last 5 years online. And even when was it? I think back in November, I had put out a call on my Facebook page to just say, like, listen, I really want to connect with people right now. I really want to just have conversation. And so I've talked to so many people about those of us who have had these ideas and have understood the importance. We were just preparing. That's all we were doing, is just preparing for this.
You know, it's wonderful. And I feel guilty saying this to you because ever since I met you, I always felt so comfortable being on, you know, on an interview, and we never really had much time to do a one-to-one interview.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I would love to do, but you have so many things on your plate, so I feel guilty asking you. But I want to do a soulmate talk podcast, and I know I'm going to need like a female partner to do it, and you would be the perfect person. But you'll let me know if you can't do it. Maybe you'll know somebody like you that can do it. But I know that it's going to be part of the gig.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I think even where that stuff is concerned, podcasting and things like that, my Project Joy podcast that came out earlier this year, it's a short podcast. It's something that people can get joy from. And that's another thing where it's like, I think I just knew that eventually people were going to need something lighter and something that they could just grasp onto some kind of joy and then go about their day. And so I'm so grateful for people like you and some of the other folks we've had on the show today that are spreading that joy in the world and helping people, truly helping people in a time that has been challenging for so many people. So thank you, Allan, so much for the work that you're doing.
It's a pleasure. One last thing I want to say about that is that I don't want the Soulmate Revolution and the Soulmate Power Program and the Soulmate Talk podcast is not just going to be about self-development. There's so much out there in self-development, although there's some unique aspects that I bring to the table. But I want a healthy dose of communication skills, because I've known over the years, even my friends who are highly spiritual, they're always asking me for advice. How would you respond to my boyfriend this way? How do I get out of this? How do I negotiate this? How do I speak my truth? So even if we've worked on self-development, there's still the communication skill development that needs to go along with it. And that's what's going to make it stand out from the crowd a little bit. There'll be a combination of personal development, self-mastery, and communication mastery as well.
I love it. Allan, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about current events with us right now. Make sure you check out the links in the show notes to connect with Allan, learn about his time as a Zen monk, and also about the Soulmate Revolution. I loved hearing about the social aspect of things from my friend Allan, and I want to move along now to another familiar face on the show who can share with us some tips that she has on how we can stay more healthy in our immune systems. We're back with past guest and panelist of the Breakthrough Show, Canada's plant-based health and wellness expert, Shoshana Chaim. Shoshana, thanks for popping in with us quickly today.
Thanks for having me.
So we didn't even reach the third quarter of 2020 before mass hysteria began about a certain virus. You probably know which one I'm talking about. And as we've talked about so many times on the show, one of the best things we can do during times of anxiety or stress, shown in so many of our breakthrough stories here, is look at things from a holistic or body, mind, and spirit perspective. And since we typically talk about the mind and the spirit on this show, I've invited Shoshana here today to share the body perspective with us with her 6 tips for protecting your immune system. So I'm really excited for you to give us some insight on this today, Shoshana, so that our viewers can have some ideas of actionable things that they can do. Because I think when we take action, we can stay more calm, right?
Absolutely. And I think that there's lots going around. There's lots that people have heard before. And I really do hope that I give somebody something new that they haven't heard yet that they can start to incorporate now. But the first thing that I think we need to understand is that it's not viruses that are deadly. It's compromised immune systems that are deadly. And there's a lot that we can do to build immune systems. Some people are in better shape than others because of other illnesses and things like that. But regardless, there's a little bit more that we can all do. And when we make better lifestyle choices, even if we're making pretty good ones now, if we could change some of our lifestyle choices, it could affect our body. It could affect our immune system. When we're eating nutritionally deficient diets, we're putting our systems at risk. So what we basically need to do is build stronger cells so that we can have stronger tissues, stronger organs, stronger systems, and stronger bodies to be a line of defense against everything that's out there. And of course, you know where I'm going to start. I'm going to start right away with nutrition. So what I think we need to do is, I'm not the type of person to really go out there and say, don't do this, do that instead. I usually say, do this, and naturally we stop doing other things. But I think that in the light of today's situation, what we need to say is, avoid diets that have fried foods, that have white flours, and that have processed foods. That's number one. Because what we're doing is we are putting toxins into our body, and we are wasting our body's healing mechanisms. We're wasting our body's energy systems to deal with that. We're weakening our immune system right then and there. So if you've been saying, I should really stop eating processed foods or really stop eating fried foods, but you haven't done it yet, now is the time to do it. It will help you now, and it'll help you in the future. I'm going to say, eat your veggies. Eat as many veggies as possible. The greener, the better. No iceberg lettuce. I don't count that, right? You could count that as part of your hydration, but not part of your nutrition. And then talking about, hydration, you want to make sure that you're drinking half your body weight in water. Our body's made up of water, or at least, over 60% made up of water. If we don't have enough water in our system, we want to, it's going to take away from other organs and from our skin to make whatever's more important run. So just to make sure that it's smooth sailing, half your body weight in ounces in water. And if you can't do that yet, because right now you're only drinking 4 ounces of water and you don't weigh, 8 pounds, then wherever you are, start a little bit bigger from there. Fill 1 water bottle a day. Make sure that's done. When you can do that, do 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Work your way up. But of course, challenge yourself to eat as many fruits and vegetables as you can every single day. Foods that are inflammatory are out. So I did say before, no processed food, or as little processed foods as possible, no fried foods. Animal products are extremely inflammatory too, and can come with their own viruses that can put you at more risk of contracting other viruses. So out with the dairy, and if you're going to eat eggs, if you're going to eat fish or chicken or whatever it is, try to make that your side dish. Try to make that your condiment. If you've ever thought about going completely plant-based or vegan, now is definitely
it's a good time.
the time to do that. Eating as organic as possible, right? Because again, a lot of the foods that we're eating have chemicals on them, have toxins on them, and we're wasting our body's healing system on that instead of on the viruses that are ending up on our skin or coming through our nostrils. So we need that. So a big diet of vegetables, fruits, legumes, grains, nuts, and seeds. And of course, if you don't think you're getting enough, you can supplement. And people always say, what should I supplement with, Shoshana? And if they must supplement, there is something called Acea via Source, which gives you a lot of greens. It gives you wheatgrass. It gives you good oils. It gives you berries. It gives you everything you need. And it's not just the vitamins from it. It's actually the food broken down. So it really does help boost the system this time of year.
Good ideas. And I think like a lot of this stuff that you're saying already is things that have helped me to feel better every day and so, even if you don't contract whatever's going around at the moment, don't you want to feel better every single day?
Absolutely. And it's not just, oh my God, there's a frenzy out there. What do I do? It's a really good time to reflect on your overall lifestyle and how you feel overall, and if you want to feel better. And that brings me to my number 2 point, which is get better sleep. The better sleep we have, the stronger immune system we're going to have. When we sleep with proper sleep cycles, our hormones are functioning properly. We're releasing our hormones into our bloodstream. We're rejuvenating our cells overnight. And really what we're doing is giving ourselves an opportunity to wake up refreshed in the morning, where we make better choices. And maybe those are food choices, or, our mood is better and our stress levels are better. And we'll get into those soon. But overall, try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night if you can, as many hours as possible during the hours of 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., because that's when your body's going to start to get into those good sleep cycles. And you want to try to put yourself on a good circadian rhythm by trying to go to bed within the same half-hour time frame every night and waking up at the same half-hour time frame every morning. So if you're not a good sleeper and you're using Saturday or Sunday morning to sleep in later to catch up on sleep, you're actually ruining your circadian rhythm. You should be getting up at the same time as you are throughout the week as well.
Good, great advice with that. All right. So we've got eating healthier. We've got a lot of ideas there. We've got get better sleep. What's number 3, Shoshana?
Number 3 is, I wanted to call it good hygiene, but I'm just going to say be smart. Just, you know what? Be smart. Don't let this stop your life, right? We still need to go places. We still need to do things. We still need to enjoy life, but be smart about where you're going. If you're going into higher risk areas, is it necessary? If you have a doctor's appointment in a big clinic and it's an optometrist appointment and that's just your yearly checkup and it's not going to affect your health, you know what, maybe you could put it off for a couple of months. But of course, if you really do need to see the doctor. Don't, come home and change your clothes. Don't touch other people. Tap your foot instead of shaking hands or giving hugs. Don't obsessively wash your hands. You don't want all cracks in your hands from getting dry, because then you're actually letting all these germs and viruses and bacteria you're giving it an easier entrance into the body. But when you get home, wash your hands, or, don't sanitize 100 times either, because you don't want to strip yourself of your natural oils.
Yes.
And understand masks. Don't go into mass hysteria because you see somebody out wearing a mask. It probably doesn't mean that they are infected with any kind of virus. It probably means that they are very nervous about contracting a virus.
Right.
And that's why they are wearing it. Having lived in Asia, I understand that completely. And I really wish that most of North America would as well. Now, there's 2 kinds of masks that people are wearing now. One is a surgical mask that the flimsy one that you see on TV. That's more to protect you from giving anything out. And I think people are using it in the opposite way. They're trying to avoid getting things, but if something's airborne, it could still come in the sides, but it can deter it a little bit. The N95 type masks are the ones that fit tightly over your face, and there's a little metal piece. So if you're not squeezing that metal piece, it's not going to work. If you are somebody who has a compromised immune system, that might be good for you. For the general public, I would say make choices based on your gut instinct and based on what your health professional has told you. Don't just do it because everybody else is doing it. So smart.
I think making good choices is just probably the best advice you can do, making good choices for you, because like my husband's in a very public job and he has gotten in the habit since all of this started that when he comes home, he takes a shower immediately. Like he comes in and because we have 7 other people in the house. And when one of us gets something, light a fire. Yeah. So I think making good choices is really good. So we've got eating healthy. We've got sleeping better. We've got making good choices for you. Don't go crazy with the hand sanitizer, people. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't go nuts. All right. Number 4.
Number 4 is keep your stress down. You don't need to have the news running 24 hours a day. The things that you need to know, somebody will call you and tell you, or you'll see it on Facebook. So you don't need to be, you don't need to be listening all the time. Meditate. Meditation shows, less stress on the body, less oxidative stress. Then you have your healing mechanisms to deal with any virus that might be sitting on your skin or entering your body instead of, dealing with the stress. And, although exercise hasn't actually been proven to boost your immune system, maybe it can, but it could also put you in a better mood, help you, and like I said before, with sleep, help you make better choices, and it's better for your overall health.
Absolutely. All right. So now we are doing the keeping the stress down. Next one.
Okay. So number 5, understand the role of redox signaling molecules within your body. That works together with the nutrition to have good signaling in your body so that you can detect, protect, repair, and replace your damaged cells. When you have good cells, you have good tissues, you have good organs, you have good systems, you have a stronger body. And those redox molecules are there. You have trillions of molecules coming out of your cells of all parts of your body. And when you get a virus, let's say it's on your skin is going to be your front line of defense. So if you have good signaling in your body, your skin is going to send up these signals that say, help, there's something here that shouldn't be here. Send me some healing process so that I can make sure to keep it away. And it's going to be it's going to lessen your chances of being able to contract a disease that's going to actually infect your body. So I always suggest, especially this time with what's going on, that people drink the redox signaling molecules supplement liquid, and that they also rub down with the gel when they leave the house, because it helps to put extra flags, extra frontline defense on your skin, so that if something does come onto you, you have it there. And it's a great antibacterial sanitizer too, instead of those harsh ones that have alcohol in it. And it's what your body needs for cellular rejuvenation.
Yeah, I know that it's a topic that not some people may be listening going, I have no idea what you're talking about. You are more than welcome to reach out to Shoshana or I after the show, and we're happy to give you more information about that as well, because it's good sometimes when this stuff goes on to open your mind to something new. Open your mind to something new that might be going on. All right, so number 6, finish us off.
All right, so if you are sick, you need to take better care of yourself than you normally would, because like I said, it's the compromised immune systems that are picking up some of the worst viruses that are out there right now. So people whose systems are already compromised, or generally speaking, or because they already have a small little cold, or they already have the stomach flu or something like that. So you want to eat as many anti-inflammatory foods as possible, like ginger, onion, garlic, turmeric. You want to have a lot of soups. You want to have as little animal products as possible, and you want to stay hydrated. You want to call in sick from work because you want your body to rest. This is the time to use your sick days if you're lucky enough to have them at work. Or just go without it, because if you go out into the public and you're already sick, chances of you picking up something else is a lot higher, and you're making other people even more vulnerable as well. And you could coming back to these redox molecules, you could nebulize them. So if you already have some kind of lung infection or lung something going on, nebulize it. You could take something like the ASEA LifeMax, which is very high anti-inflammatory. Whatever it is that you would not have necessarily done to take care of yourself when you were sick in the past, you want to make sure that you go the extra mile now.
Awesome.
And I guess a quick 7 is, please don't panic. Right? Stop making jokes and posting it on social media. If a lot of people are high anxiety right now, but the jokes that they're making, and toilet paper and all of that, it seems funny, and I know it's people making light of situations, but just go out there, love your very best life, and don't use this as an opportunity to make jokes, because it is affecting people's mental health in a very serious way.
I think for that quick number 7, it's so important to just not go either direction with it. Because no matter what we're putting out there, whether we're making jokes about something or we're completely freaking out on social media and dragging everyone in with us, I think either way, we have to be a little more mindful about what we're putting out in the world about this situation. Shoshana, thanks so much for sharing those 6 things with us. Make sure that you guys take a minute to click the links in the show notes to connect with Shoshana if you would like to talk to her about your specific wellness circumstances or concerns. Thanks, Shoshana.
Thank you.
It was so awesome to hear from Shoshana, and I've got another person that knows Shoshana real well that I want to bring on to talk about something that we can do to keep our bodies moving during this time. Many of us have come home, many of us may have worked outside the house or lived a more active lifestyle, and we may be home now thinking, what do I do now? How does that look now? And why is it important to continue to move my body? So we're going to talk to a new face on the Breakthrough Show now. I've got a special friend with me today who you're going to see a little bit later on in this season tell more about his story. But because he is a 2-time Ironman triathlete, I thought that there's not a better person that I could ask right now to join us and tell us how we can keep moving based on current circumstances when a lot of us are maybe indoors more than what we used to be. Everybody, please welcome my new friend of the show, Adam Chaim. Adam, thanks for being with us quickly today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So I know that the world is changing for a lot of people right now, and a lot of people may be confined to their homes. They may not be as easily active as they used to be. What are some ideas that you have of maybe how we can keep physically moving our bodies?
It's so true. Right now, so many people are sitting a lot more than they are normally sitting because they're not at their regular workplace or wherever they might be. And it's really important to not allow yourself to get into that lazy routine that so many people can get into. And so if you're sitting for an extended period of time, it's so important to be getting up and moving your body. And some of the things that you could be doing in your home, especially if you have no equipment available to you, so simple. If you have a staircase, you could be going up and down that staircase, and you could do that once, twice. You could do it many times at different speeds. You could double step, single step. There's lots of different varieties of stair climbing that you could be doing. If you don't have a staircase in your home, there's so many different exercises that you could do just using simple body weight, whether it's push-ups or whether it's air squats or a wall sit, leaning against the wall and just sitting there with your knees at a 90 degree. You could be doing different versions of planks. And you can go online and find all videos on all these kind of exercises. You could do jumping jacks. If you have a skipping rope, you could skip if your ceiling's high enough. Crunches, there's a wide variety that you could really do. And I could keep naming other exercises like lunges and calf raises. I could keep going on and on. But the whole point is you need to keep moving your body, especially at a time like this where you're losing out on your regular routine. Your gym might not be available to you, or you don't have equipment. So you just need to remember to intentionally get up and move, time slot some moments for you to do this, whether it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, or chunk it as a 30 or an hour. It's totally up to you, but it's super important to just get your body moving, get the blood flow going so that your mind can continue to work at a very high level.
Right. And this is important for those of us who have children at home right now, too, to get them moving as well.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great for them instead of sitting on their video games all day, like some of them might get into that habit of doing,
Right.
or if they're in school doing online classes, it's really even more important to get them up and moving on a regular basis because they're going to get into a routine of sitting and being lazy so much quicker than the adults will. So
Right.
get them moving with you or on their own, but get into that habit of having some fun family fitness time.
I like that idea too of doing it together. I mean, so many of us have sat there and said, well, I wish we could have more time as a family. And now we've got it. We've got it. So we can do it together, right?
Yeah, that's a huge positive that's coming out of this, right? Now we have the time to sit down as a family for dinner, for meals, but we also have the time to take part in physical fitness activities as a family and create some challenges with each other and just have some fun in a different perspective than you might be used to with your family.
I love that. Well, I'm going to get right off here and put my kids to do some challenges against each other. Let's see who can do the most push-ups or sit-ups, and it'll be fun to do that. Adam, thanks so much for chiming in on all of this. I really appreciate it. Wow, it's so awesome that we have such amazing connections here on the Breakthrough Show, that we have been able to welcome people onto the show that can help us have actionable ideas and things that we can do to make our lives moving forward despite whatever's going on in the world. Thank you so much to Allan Knight, Shoshana Chaim, and Adam Chaim for your insights. And on behalf of everyone here at the Breakthrough Show, I want to wish you peace, happiness, and of course, health. We'll be back in just a minute for more of the Breakthrough Show. Everybody, we're back for more of the Breakthrough Show. I am pumped about this season, so I could not get away from season 4, episode 1, our premiere episode, without talking about what is to come this season. So I mentioned, of course, that our time has changed, our look of the show has changed, our format's changed a little bit, but what does that actually mean? What are you going to tune into here on the show? If you're brand new to the Breakthrough Show, welcome. We're so excited to have you here and listening or watching for the first time, and we invite you to come back each and every week. It's one of these shows for me, it's been over time where you could hear about someone coming on the show and say, well, that might not be a topic that particularly resonates with me. That might not be something that applies to my life. But the really shocking thing for me has been that despite that, each and every episode, each and every guest that comes on, there has been incredible learning moments, even if their story is not something that you've been through. Even if their story is not something that you could relate to, there's always been incredible aha moments and, of course, fun and laughter along the way too. This season is no different, and it is such a pleasure for me to be on this first episode and share with you how much fun it was to do all these interviews. Now, before, when the show was live, it was a situation where I was just in it with you. Whether it was going to be good or not, we were going to find out together. And it's such a pleasure for me to sit here today and say that each and every episode this season is fire. Each and every episode this season, there are so many. You guys better just have paper ready, something to write on, because there's so much goodness. There's so much you're going to want to remember. And in addition to our incredible guests we have on the show, we've also welcomed inspirational entertainers. And this is something that was important to me for a few reasons. So I've always really been into music. And the arts in general. I love plays, I love acting, I love theater, I love music, I love art. I love so many different things that takes creativity. And so when I started thinking about breakthrough moments that I've had in my life, I would think about automatically movies or music or songs or things that tie me to that time, things that were important that helped me get through it. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have some of that entertainment on the show? So that's something else that we're welcoming on the show this season, so that we can not just have these conversations, but we can have fun together. We can laugh together. We can enjoy good music together. We can find out more about the inspired art that has happened in this world on many different levels because of the breakthrough moments that people have, and also because these artists know that those art pieces and those songs and those movies and those TV shows really help to paint the picture of what we're going through in our breakthrough moments. And they do it because of that. It is the most inspiring thing to listen to and hear about. So I'm really excited to have several artists and entertainers on this show, and it's really going to make it so much more fun, and I can't wait for you to participate with them. I want to share a little bit about some of the interviews that are coming up because I'm really excited. This month on the Breakthrough Show, next week you're going to be hearing from Ori Spado, known as the Hollywood Mob Boss, and he has an incredible story of turnaround. In addition, this April, we have my friend Sherry Goodall coming on the show, which I'm really excited about. She has amazing stories about just the transitions that she's gone through in her life, and I can't wait for you to hear from Sherry. Plus, she has a really cool retreat coming up that you're going to want to hear about, so that'll be up in a couple of weeks. In addition, we also have a new friend of the show, Oleg Lohid, who is going to be sharing with us about his incredible story. Oleg is a TEDx speaker. He has had really an incredible life and focuses on the choices that we can make, which you know we love here on the show, because that's such a huge part of breakthroughs, is the choices that we make around them, right? So I'm really excited to welcome Oleg on the show. In addition, for this season, we have some incredible musicians, as I mentioned, Abby Miracle on the show. We have Aaron Hill. We have my cousin Jim Spinato coming back on the show. We've got a couple friendly faces coming back as co-hosts with me, Heather Clark, Jeremy Witcher, and more. We have incredible guests coming up like Allan Knight, Marie Martin, David Veal, Shoshana Chaim, Steve Gamlin, Laura Mazzata, Truth Sika, Dee Wallace, Julia Spinato, Aaron Hill, Sabrina Precario, Joe Nicasio, Sylvia Moss, Brian K. Wright, Haley Halleck, Adam Chaim, Vikram Rajan. and so many more. Like, it's such an incredible season, you guys, and I am so excited. I'm so excited. We've got 30 amazing episodes this season. Guys, it's been so much fun catching up with you here today. I want to give you a little bit of update on me as well. I'm currently working on my first solo book. I'm working on a book of short stories about growing up with my grandparents, which I'm really excited to hopefully finish writing by the end of the summer. We'll see where we're at. Everything is good here on my home front. For those of you that are new to me, I have 6 children. I homeschool. It's always a circus. It's still a circus. No update there. But my oldest son will be graduating in a different way because we homeschool, but graduating, my oldest is a senior, and so it's going to be exciting to do that on the home front. Everything's good with hubby and I also have been spending a lot of time in my Soul Connection Collective, which is a nurturing space for those people who are on a personal or spiritual development journey and just need support and friendship and want to find other people that are committed to their personal and spiritual development as well, who are going to lift them up instead of knock them down when they're trying new things. And I'm really excited about that space. So you can find out more about me and all of that at jessicadugas.com. I want to thank everybody who has made this episode happen. I know that it came together in bits and pieces, but it is something that I wanted to cover so many things in this episode and update you guys and keep it relevant to what we've been going on and what's been going on in the world. And I think we accomplished that today. I hope that this has made you excited for the next season. I hope that you are ready to watch every week and participate and share it out, because we need more goodness in the world, right? All right, guys, until next week, this has been Jessica Dugas for The Breakthrough Show, and I encourage you to be ready for breakthrough moments in your life today and every day.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Breakthrough. Please visit our website at www.thebreakthroughshow.com. And be sure to join our After the Breakthrough community powered by Patreon. We look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place for another inspiring episode.